I gave him a Captain America salute.
Nice. Does he have cosplay pants on too? Or are those regular human pants?
I don't know.
Or were they superhuman pants?
I think
Had a carne.
cosplay pants on.
What
What, did he get the super soldier serum or something?
Yeah. Oh, man.
That guy ain't no super
I think that's just
soldier.
called proper nutrition.
Yeah.
That's what that was. Everybody else had been eating boiled chickens since birth. So they just gave Captain America some vitamins.
There we go.
Coming out of the depression.
Oh yeah.
Boil it. Boil it.
Rock soup.
I don't know. Yeah. Jeez. I don't boil. Well, no, I boil, things that should be boiled.
Welcome everyone to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Yay! Is somebody coming in?
Oh, geez.
No, she pulled out keys like they were heading right in. Well, welcome everybody. And if you want to come in, come in. It must be for you, Mike. To another exciting episode of Our Town, a podcast.
It's extraordinary.
Coming to you from the I Am Renton space here in beautiful, beautiful downtown and historic Renton, Washington.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Beautiful fall day.
Boys, tonight's safe word is bad monkey.
Bad monkey.
Feeling bad already? The reason why is back in Greece, they've consistently had kings. And King Alexander, who ruled from 1917 to 1920, so just a very short time, he had a dog that he loved, and he was walking that dog around the castle grounds on 10/2, so this is kind of symbolic of the month, back in 1920, and he noticed that a fight between his beloved dog and the palace steward's Barbary ape. A Barbary ape is not like a large, it's a large monkey, right? So they're fighting. And so he ran over to try to separate them, and another
that's
monkey,
a terrible idea.
Another monkey came running in, bit him on the leg and bit him on the side.
Yeah.
And so they took him back. The royal doctors cauterized his wounds and stuff, but he developed sepsis really quick.
Bummer.
And they were like,
Monkey bite, dude.
all the surgeons and stuff were like, well, we should really cut his leg off to, save his life. But I don't want to be the one to cut his leg off. So none of them, so they all hesitated. And none of them did it, and he died like 10 days later.
They're like,
none of them wanted to be responsible or accountable.
Yes, geez, bummer. Monkeys, I've had a couple of close encounters with monkeys.
You mentioned one.
In Delhi.
Didn't you feed one?
Well, he took my food. No, I didn't offer it up. It's like, that was a vendetta. But if he would have bit me, I would have hunted him and his entire family.
Yeah, ripped his little monkey head off. So if anybody's not feeling safe, just yell, bad monkey!
Bad monkey.
And we'll stop this here program and check on you.
But they're fast and they're really smart.
Yeah.
And some of them are big, man.
Some of them get pretty good size,
we should
man.
look up Barbary ape.
I did. It's a large...
like chimp size or not?
No, I don't think it's quite a chimp size, but they're a good size ape, man. I don't want to mess with it and rip your face off.
Yeah. They don't do the gentleman's fisticuffs.
And they got sharp teeth, man.
It would be awesome if they did, though. I would pay for that. I'd see that. That should be an MMA side hustle.
Sugar Ray Leonard versus 99 Wolverines.
I like Sugar Ray Leonard.
I do too.
Yeah, geez. Wonder how big they get. Yeah. Geez, that's a good-looking monkey.
Yeah.
or whatever.
I
primate.
mean, yeah, those are the ones you see in like the Indiana Jones movies.
20
man.
pounds. Yeah, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, and
32
they
for a
look
man.
evil as fuck when they're like yelling and shit because they got big ass fangs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I don't know, they're not brushing and getting fucking laser bleaching on their
Well,
fucking
don't
teeth
judge
either.
him, Mike. Gee.
They don't do laser bleaching, but they do sun bleach their butthole.
Yeah. Oh man.
Have
I
you
mean,
heard
if they
about
could,
that?
if they could get a water pick, then they might do it.
That's the way our nonprofit should be.
Have you guys
Water
heard about
picks
that?
to the Barbary apes.
Have you guys heard about that? People a couple years ago were like sunbathing their butthole. They were like
bleaching it
they were like laying out and they spread their butt cheeks so they can get some tan on their
butt.
sphincter.
Man, that would hurt if you go a little too far. If you,
Yeah,
No
and I
thanks.
think after that became a trend, doctors were like, don't do this because that's not a good place to get a sunburn.
no,
And you don't want skin cancer down near your butthole.
no.
Jeez.
Damn.
I know that. I need that on my gravestone. At least the tattoo.
At least I didn't die from skin cancer around my sphincter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I mean, our lives have brought us to the point where we got to say the word sphincter tonight.
I mean, how often do you get to say sphincter?
John is just trying to get on with the fucking program.
I'm good. You guys keep going. Talk about buttholes and
You know,
keep going. I want to count the
Remember when we were
wrinkles on your
dignified?
brown
It's like,
starfish.
podcasts always evolve into talking about sphincters and buttholes and
Yeah, why not?
dingleberries.
I mean-
why not?
Jeez.
That's common.
Dick and fart jokes.
Low-hanging fruit.
Boys, I want you to guess who said this quote. Mercedes-Benz will start building in the United States, and they have a little bit. But do you know what they really are? Assembly, like in South Carolina. But they build everything in Germany, and then they assemble it here. They get away with murder because they say, oh yes, we're building cars. They don't build cars. They take them out of a box, and they assemble them. We could have our child do it.
That sounds like a Trump thing.
This is Trump talking
What
about
the Americans that
UAW
work in those
workers.
factories? Like, there were 737 plant in Renton, Washington.
Right.
That's an assembly plant.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah.
diminish the value of what's going on there? But also remember, because Congress has written laws and the other two branches signed off on them that allow for the import, right, made in America with imported parts, right? It's
Yeah.
like, and that's better than nothing because we did get, our manufacturing infrastructure got sold out. It got sold out.
Is this at the same rally where he's like talking about like Detroit while standing in Detroit?
Yeah, he made fun of Detroit while giving a speech in Detroit.
He's talking
Seems like
shit about
an
the town that he's standing in. Yeah.
Well, I
That
don't think
was-
people are actually listening.
I
right?
know,
You
they
just
don't
tune
care.
out. It doesn't.
Yeah, no,
it's
this
the-
was
it's the-
this was when he was having an
Us,
interview
them thing.
with the editor of Bloomberg News. He had
Yeah,
a sit down with that guy.
No, I watched most of it.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it, but when I heard that friggin' quote, I was like, you just shit on hundreds of thousands of workers.
Yeah.
People
Who
that
are
are
In
doing
Michigan,
manufacturing work
Ohio,
in the United States.
North
Yeah.
Carolina.
Oh,
It's like, what do you...
I mean,
Of which we need guarantees to where those won't be fully automated. Right. We need to at least retain some kind of.
he is a special kind of
in the
stupid.
game, right?
He really is.
He just doesn't care.
He
He just
doesn't care.
blathers all. It's just blather. Just
And
blather.
it's really getting to the point that the guy can say anything. The polls, and I don't
But
know
that
how
means
much
it's a
faith you put in the
JD
polls, but
Yeah.
they haven't moved.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it doesn't matter because it's us and them. Us,
Yeah,
and them, us and
yeah.
them, us and them. But this means people, everybody. That means this
Everyone.
will be a J.D. Vance presidency. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Trump's going to be done.
Yeah.
You can see he's exhausted now, right? It's like, because he's and this is on his schedule, on his terms.
Yeah.
Right? So if he tries to pull that in the White House, he'll just be, pushed to the side and it's J.D. Vance's show.
Yeah. Probably will
It's
be
like, that's
anyway. I
worse.
mean, he'll just.
That's
yeah.
even how could this be worse?
Yeah.
That is worse. This can't happen, people.
Absolutely, yeah.
No. Well, in happier news, boys, Taylor Swift is now the richest female musician with a net worth of a staggering $1.6 billion.
Well, it doesn't go as far as it used to.
No, she just surpassed Rihanna, who was sitting at $1.4 billion. I don't know what Rihanna does besides music. I know she's a popular artist, but I didn't know she was that popular.
I think she has like an alcohol business where
she's selling tequila or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And only below Jay-Z, who sits at $2.5 billion. And I know Jay-Z's got like a record company, and he's got
just fashion
like and all kinds of shit. But
she,
I think, is the first one to only do it from recording and performing, as opposed to having a bunch of other businesses. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like creating headphones and then selling it to Apple.
I heard
Like
she
Beats
sells,
and stuff. Yeah.
space lasers to the Jew. That's what I heard. That's where the real money is.
The weather control
weather
machines.
control, yeah.
Oh man, I saw a video. There's like, what was it? He was basically, I was gonna start talking about it, and then my brain just, nope, you don't need it.
A weather control machine looks a lot like a coal plant. Just about any of them for the last almost 300 years.
We actually talked about this machine during our conspiracy theory episodes. It's HAARP.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, HAARP. Remember HAARP?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're talking about.
High altitude something.
Yeah, and it's HAARP. Yeah, it's not what it does, but that's what they think it does. Yeah, it's for like low frequency communications.
It'll make the Russians like poop their pants.
I think it's what it is.
It'll even launch the brown note across the northern.
I mean, seriously, we could control the weather. Couldn't we just send like 10 hurricanes through Russia?
Well, and we would never have to worry about crops ever again.
If we could do that,
We would never have drought again. It's so ridiculous, and just stop and think of and that's why a hurricane is such a big deal. The amount of energy necessary to bring something like that around.
Yeah.
Right? That happens because atmosphere is big.
Yeah.
And thick.
and
very dense, and there's a lot of dynamics going on. An ocean is very, very, very filled with energy. Right? And the hotter it gets, the more energy there is.
If
right?
we could really do that, why would we send it to Florida? Of all places, Florida.
Well, I
mean, really,
it's just not.
If we could really control the weather, like Charles said, why didn't we send it to Russia or some other country, North Korea for that matter?
We have been.
Yeah.
They just suppress it. The mainstream media.
Wildfires in California.
Yeah.
If we control the weather, why not
et
just
cetera.
massive deluge of rain?
Yeah.
Or why are there...
Instead of going out there with rakes and raking up the leaves.
Well, because California is a blue state, so we got to take care of them, right?
It's just, I don't know. It's just, that's why it's ridiculous on its face, and it just kind of muddies the water.
It does.
Right? But the fact that stuff like that gains any traction at all just makes me want to just cry. It's come on.
And all these people vote.
It's because we burned coal. We burned a lot of, trillions of tons of coal. Right? Or at least billions of tons of coal for 300 fucking years. Yeah. That's how we change the weather. Yeah. Why is that so hard to believe?
I don't know. It's easier to believe that there's some kind of Jewish consortium controlling.
Pew, pew, pew. It's like...
I mean, if there was a Jewish consortium up there with space lasers, wouldn't they just zap all the Iranian high command?
Yeah. Why would why would hostages have been taken?
Right.
Was I the only one who immediately thought of like Dr. Evil when someone mentioned the Jewish space lasers?
That's George Soros too. He's in charge of it all. He's that big, the big brain and the alien invasion.
Shirts with lasers
on
So shitty. I don't know. Quit being intellectually lazy is all I'm asking. I mean, at least not all the time. You can zone out once in a while, but you can't just be fucking intellectually lazy. It's not healthy. You got to fucking think about shit before you go,
I'm curious as to how much of the MAGA population is like an addict of some sort. Like they are like alcoholics or drug addicts of some sort.
I don't know.
I mean,
Hard to
could
say.
that explain
it's
why
still a
they
fair
follow?
cross-section of humanity, right? Then you can extrapolate that.
I mean, could that be the
It's always
reason why
more
they believe
like-
all this bullshit that's obvious bullshit?
No, and it's not just, well, fuck, there's plenty of people of all stripes that believe weird, stupid shit. It's not just MAGA. MAGA's just one aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
We got to
I don't
challenge
know.
ourselves to not accept things that are just hogwash, right?
I mean, I have been known to be a little bit naive and gullible, but when I first started seeing all this stuff about all the conspiracy stuff, I'm like, people really believe this? I mean, for a long time, I believed that the 9/11 a conspiracy. I did, because it seemed like it made sense to me. But then the more I looked into it, the more I looked at it, that's absolutely horseshit. That just no way that happened. So yeah,
Well, there was a lot of weird shit, like
There's a lot of
allowing.
weird shit on 9/11.
Yeah, like allowing the family, the Bin Laden family.
Oh, well,
to
come on, yeah.
exit out of the
That's one
United
the less
States.
weird things,
Yeah,
actually.
well, no, I mean, there's
Yeah.
just a plenty of the only planes in the
Building
sky.
7.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I got 2 words for you. Building 7, it's weird as fuck. Nobody can ever tell me it's not weird as fuck.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, no.
But I don't know
what I'm
that.
saying is the stuff that I heard has been since been proven incorrect or false. So I mean, I haven't heard anything about Building 7 as far as what the conspiracy is with that. But I'm talking about the 2 big buildings that they're.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's trippy. It really is.
Yeah, totally with you, man.
I heard it was Angela Lansbury.
As.
Yeah.
You know what? It was Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
But all of it just kind of
Chachi.
and even at the time, it's not the action often that speaks the most truth. It's the reaction.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
That speaks a lot of truth.
Speaking of Hollywood that have fallen into the whole MAGA thing, the most recent one, I think I mentioned it last week. I don't remember if I have or not, but Zachary Levi. Did I mention that last week?
I don't know. I've heard a lot about
Like
it.
he just recently has. He was supporting Kennedy, and then when Kennedy bowed out, he's like, "All right, well, I'm going to support Trump." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And this guy actually did a lot for mental health, and he's huge in the nerd community. So when he came out with this, I'm like,
What
okay.
did he give a reason?
No, he's very religious apparently. So
I don't know. I mean, he's free to choose what he wants to choose.
I mean,
Doesn't
yeah.
mean there's not,
there's definitely
I don't
going to be
know.
consequences for
Unless
his
he just
actions.
wants to save money on his taxes.
That's probably what it is.
You know what I mean? That's typically how they get the heavy hitters to go along with it,
And-
right? Because
Over the last
if their
couple
tax rate goes up 10% to you or I, actually that'll put us out of our homes. But somebody like that's looking to lose a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean,
Death tax.
apparently in the last couple of years, during the pandemic, he was he was kind of hinting at being anti-vax. He wouldn't come out and say he's against it or anything. He's just kind of it makes sense, blah, 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 you know. And he'd say,
I liked him in Shazam, or Big Billy, I guess.
yeah, Shazam and Chuck was good. I still like Chuck. I mean, it's kind of hard to watch now. I started watching it the other day. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe not. But yeah.
I haven't seen that. I don't know much about it. He just had a movie, Purple Crayon.
Yeah, something in the
yeah.
Purple Crayon. It was a famous book in the
Like a kid's book or
It was
something?
a kid's book, yeah. And I guess it tanked really
Yeah.
bad. It huge box office bomb.
Man.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Well, speaking of box office bombs, real quick, the Joker, Fotoli or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I watched it at home on my computer.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
Gee.
and
Was that a wink wink? Or was that
it was a bootleg. I'm going to say it because I didn't really want to spend money on seeing it if it was going to be as bad as I heard. So it was a musical. So all the sequences that were in his head or in her head
Yeah.
were them singing and dancing.
Yeah, they're crazy people. I don't know, but I bet.
It was-
was it well executed? It's a tough sell. I get why it's a tough sell. I get it, but now I'm more intrigued, not less. Although, yeah, I had kind of high hopes for it.
Dude, honestly, wait till it comes out on streaming for free.
Yeah, the trailer's great. It's a good trailer, but I think that is their...
They showed all the best bits, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, they show her dressed in Harley.
Just like
in
Dude,
Harley
Where's My
Quinn.
Car? The trailer for Dude, Where's My Car is every single funny thing. The 30
That's gonna be in
seconds
the
of
movie.
funny from them.
That movie, for the first 30 minutes of that movie, it was hilarious. And after that, it just kind of repeated the same dumb jokes over again.
But that, I don't know. But I'll watch it when it's free.
Yeah, I don't recommend seeing it in theaters because it's unless you want to see the music part of it.
Yeah.
I'll say this: it's not.
Did anybody see A Star Is Born?
I did. I actually enjoyed that.
Right on.
I did.
Yeah.
The Gaga
wife
version.
did. She really liked
The Gaga version was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But and there wasn't. Let's put it this way: there wasn't bad song choices. They were good songs. It was just weird having that heavy of a movie about mental illness be all a musical. It seemed like it was doing it a disservice. Making light of someone's mental health by having them bust into song and dance.
Yeah, but he's a supervillain, right? So it's not supposed to be...
He's not really a super villain, though. For him to be a super villain, there needs to be a superhero that fights him, and he doesn't have anyone fighting him except for the system. In this one, he's in prison in a mental institution.
But didn't he kill a bunch of people in the first movie?
He did, and that's kind of the whole point of this movie. Is he's in the mental institution, and he's becoming a model patient, and they're trying to see if they can prove that he's mentally incapable of going to court and whatnot.
So it's okay.
So it picks up right after.
Yeah, exactly. Right after he's in the hospital, and because he's such a model patient or prisoner or whatever, he gets to go into this mental hospital to do daily activities, and one of the things is that they're singing and dancing and whatever else, and that's where he meets Lady Gaga's character. Harley Quinn.
Is she, because Harley Quinn starts out as a psychiatrist of sorts, right?
And she is. Spoiler alert.
No, because I'm going to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, please. Pretty.
All right.
Yeah, she...
I didn't know if she was a patient in the...
I am going to see this.
Yeah.
I just want to pay $19.99 or whatever.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Mike, I'll tell you how I watched it when we're off air.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about paying to see this garbage.
FBI's listening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should have such trouble.
Speaking of singers, boys, English singer-songwriter James Blunt. Do you remember James Blunt,
Yeah.
2004? You're beautiful for sure.
Yeah, I remember.
He had that song was everywhere for a minute.
Jeez.
I remember Weird Al wanting to do a parody of it.
Oh, really?
And his record label said no.
Oh, no.
But he had already recorded it at that point.
Oh.
So he ended up releasing it for free on YouTube, and it fucking blew up.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
fucking-
I think Blunt
You're
seems like a
beautiful.
funny guy because he's always making fun of himself. So his album is going to hit its 20-year anniversary, and he's doing a remaster of the album. And he's asked people because it went like super #1 back in 2004. So he's asking people to make this go #1 again. He probably needs the money. Or maybe he doesn't, I don't know. But he's promised that he will change his name if people will go out and buy the record.
What's he
and make
changing it to? Did you say?
Yes. Blunty McBluntface.
Oh, my God. That's good.
And he
Because isn't it Bodie McBoatface or whatever? So good.
I think he's just having fun with it. But he's constantly sort of making fun of himself when he shows up in interviews
It's
and
weird.
whatnot.
I mean, if he's willing to do that, why did his label say no to the parody? Because the
I
parody,
don't know.
the
That
parody
would have been
was
awesome.
really good.
I'm going to look that up then.
It's just James Blunt Weird Al parody. It's called "You're Pitiful," and it's honestly, Weird Al should see about releasing that song and having it be a song about Trump. I mean, it could easily be that.
All right. Yeah, I just thought it was cute that he was willing to sort of make fun of himself and like try to get people to make it Go number 1 again on the
Blunty McBlunt.
remaster.
Any relation to Emily Blunt?
No, I don't think so. But Back to Bedlam is the album if you guys are interested in helping him change his name to Blunty McBluntface.
Oh, God.
Anybody ever use the Redbox?
Oh,
Yeah, I used to.
I was never a Redbox guy.
I did. When it first
Yeah,
came
they
out,
had
I was
physical discs.
it was a vending machine. You got the
Yeah.
discs, and what I was doing is I would rent them, and then I'd rip the disc and then return it.
Return it right away.
Yeah.
Because you get charged by the day.
Yep.
Or something, right?
It was like $3.99 a day.
Well, the company went bankrupt a few years ago, and nobody ran around because the company went out of business and grabbed the 24,000 or so red
Oh,
boxes
geez. Yeah,
that
yeah,
were
yeah.
in front of
Geez,
all these
that's a lot.
stores.
Huh.
I guess they're really heavy machines, right? So they have all the electronics in it. They've got the storage
Yeah,
for all the
physical, yeah,
discs,
it's gotta be able
just
to move
physically.
all that stuff, yeah.
And some places they even set it into concrete so that they wouldn't get tipped over or whatever else. So a lot of the stores are trying to turn them over for scrap to kind of make up a little bit of money for it.
But there's a lot of electronics. It makes them difficult to scratch.
Yes, but if you want, you can go to some of these places and take one home. Some people have like gone and gotten them and brought them home.
It's kind of a modern jukebox.
It kinda
If you didn't
is.
have to pay for it, right? It's like,
If you don't have to pay for it,
Yeah, you could say,
you just
hey.
got to get the
Yeah.
truck and a
And
couple
have a
buddies to
DVD
help and all that.
player, right?
But if you have a huge collection, I don't know how many movies the thing held.
Oh God, I don't even
I
know.
would think
Would it
But
be a few hundred,
the
probably?
cases,
Right?
the cases were like those thin plastic,
Yeah.
holds one single
Those
disc.
slips or
And it just
whatever.
kicks it out. It wasn't like the envelopes that Netflix used
No,
to
it was,
send.
it was like it was a hard plastic case, and it was not much bigger than the disc itself.
This is way back in the.
way back in the
early
case days.
In like the 2010s, I think is when they first came out.
Yeah.
So you can just go grab them.
Well, I think you probably would check with the store first, but nobody's
Oh,
claiming them. So if you see one, I remember when the city wanted the theater to clean up the Y2 parking lot. I went down and took out the old phone booth that was sitting out in front of the Y2. So me and Bailey's former girlfriend went down there one Saturday. I think he was at boot camp or something. And she and I removed this tall, it wasn't like a full glass encased one, but it was one of the ones on the pedestal and it comes up. And so I had it for a long time. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And the wife was like, that's got to go
Gotta
out of the
go.
garage.
Taking a mass space.
But yeah, I could just see something like that.
Huh? Yeah.
One
Jeez.
thing about these boxes, though, is they require a lot of power, like up to $35 a month, just to keep that thing running.
Yeah,
I don't know
geez.
why so much power.
Because what's $1 a day at, say, 20 cents a kilowatt hour?
Yeah, something like that.
5 kilowatt hours, right?
Yeah.
That
Jeez.
means in 24 hours that thing's using.
I guess you could run over and plug it in right when you
Yeah,
need a movie.
Maybe.
Just takes a minute to boot.
Yeah, to boot up. Interesting. Because not only is it because it's giving you a physical thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it has to have some mechanisms in there,
Yeah.
diodes and rotors and fucking cool. Who sat down and goes, you know what we're gonna do, and then we're just gonna leave them outside.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it wasn't a bad business plan.
Or it didn't
Redbox
seem like
went out of
until
business
streaming
then, I
came
guess?
along.
Yeah, they went bankrupt, like what,
Because
3-5
streaming
years
just
ago?
stabbed him in the neck.
Yeah.
That
it's
explains
like-
why I haven't seen one of those machines in forever.
Yeah, there used to be one up at the 7-Eleven in Cascade. I used to.
There was another company that did
Pass
something
all the time.
similar, and it was like a blue machine.
Oh, they tried to jump on it.
It was I think you know what? It might have been Blockbuster that had those because it was a blue machine. It was basically the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember. I mean,
And if you
I,
live in a place where you don't have internet, I
Yeah.
can still see it, right?
I mean, I don't really have physical media anymore. All of my movies are digital on my computer. So if my computer ever fucking dies, I lose everything. So. So now that I said that out loud, I'm hoping that it never fucking happens.
Yeah.
Knock on
Well, you
wood
can back
somewhere.
things up, you know. They have
I mean, they're all on external hard drives, so as long as those drives don't die, then I'm good.
die, yeah,
But
geez.
my C drive is just my operating system. I don't have anything installed on it.
Yeah. Man, well, speaking of outdated technology and speaking of re-releases or remastered albums, Green Day's Dookie,
Dookie.
is coming out for its 30th anniversary.
How dare you say
And
that?
the boys have decided with the record company to re-release all the songs, but they're doing them on interesting media.
Yeah, I saw that.
Every song is on a different kind of media, and I'll run down the list.
There's like a Super NES cartridge. There is, I think, a portable like game system cartridge as well.
Yeah,
or two of them.
Well, the list, the song "Burnout" is going to be released on a player piano roll. If you have a player piano,
Well, my dad
cost you
does.
$49.
That's not bad.
The song "Having a Blast" will come out on a floppy disk. Will cost you $19.
Oh.
Are we talking like 3.5, or are we talking about
I think it's the 3.5. It didn't look like the larger floppy in the picture.
the five and a quarter?
This one has me intrigued. The song "Chump" comes out with a Teddy Ruxpin doll for $99. So you get the doll and you get the tape to put in it.
Nice.
$99.
Oh my God.
I would buy it
Was
just
Teddy
for the
Ruxpin
doll.
a doll that had a tape?
It had the little tape.
It was a tape player in its back.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. No, my sister had one of those, and I used to put my AC/DC tape
Yes.
And make it sing AC/DC.
Yes.
The song "Longview" is coming out on a wireless doorbell. I don't know the brand of the doorbell, but you put it on the outside, and when you hit it, the other side
that's
plays the doorbell,
not bad,
plays
yeah.
Longview. The song "Welcome to Paradise" is coming out on a Game Boy cartridge.
in it. That's what I was thinking of.
$39.
Welcome to paradise.
Another funny one, "Pulling Teeth" is coming out on a musical toothbrush. So it's
Oh
one of those
my
kids'
God.
toothbrushes that you push the button and it plays the song.
It vibrates on your teeth. Yeah, the song. I remember Kiss had one of those.
Oh my God, of course.
The song "Basket Case" is going to be on a Big Mouth Billy Bass
Perfect.
Oh,
for
dude.
$79. The song "She" is going to be on a hit clip.
What's a hit clip?
It was a
I like
little
that
thing
song.
in the
That's mine.
90s.
Yeah. It was like a miniature 8-track tape
that you
And-
put in, and it only played on that machine, right?
Yeah. And that's exactly what it was. It was the size of like a tape cassette player, but the cartridge was like a miniature. Like it was only like this big for
Yeah.
like an 8-track. And
Just ridiculous. It played like a minute and a half of a song or something.
It played the ones I remember because my little sister had one of these, and it played like 2 or 3 songs.
Oh, did it have that many? I didn't realize. The song "Sassafras Roots" is coming out on an actual 8-track tape.
Nice.
Get that for $19. "When I Come Around" is going to be on a wax cylinder for $49. "Coming Clean" is going to be on an X-ray record, which I find fascinating because in Russia they used, because they couldn't manufacture, so they would bootleg copies of Western records and put them on X-rays, old X-rays, because they could groove the X-ray, the acetone or whatever.
The plastic.
So that's coming out. I was kind of curious on it. It's $49 though, so I'm probably going to pass. Eminus Sleepus is coming out on a digital answering machine, so you get a little answering machine. It's $50, costs you $49.
I mean, all these things are only useful if you have something that will play them.
True.
So, I mean,
it's
if
better
it's
than
true.
an NFT.
And if you don't have,
I think it's better than
So-
Is it
NFT.
Lookout Records? Were they on Lookout? This record? Because that would have set those guys up.
I don't know.
I think
They would have been
of all
bought
the
by
ones
a
that
bigger
there,
one.
the one that comes with the Teddy Ruxpin is the one I would be interested in because I want I would like to have the bear because you can play other tapes on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bear. It doesn't look like a human.
Oh, it's a.
He's like a teddy bear.
You don't remember
I don't
Teddy
remember
Ruxpin?
Teddy Ruxpin.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll pull
I
it
was
up.
looking at Shogun Warrior. I was fixated.
So
Dude, I always wanted the Godzilla Shogun doll.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was cool.
Never had.
Final 3 in the end is coming out on a mini disc for $19. FOD is on a Fisher Price record for those old. I think we had one at the house, and then All by Myself is on a little music box that you crank the little handle.
Badass. It's only $19.
That's $19.
I don't know.
I know
That seems
all
like
of
a
these
pretty
are
good deal.
limited.
Yeah.
So, and I bet you all of them are going to sell out because people are just nuts, right?
Yeah, the only song I
There you
know
go,
on this
Mike.
record, I think,
That's a Teddy Ruxpin.
crazy. No, I don't.
See, and the thing is the face
your friend.
would animate when the music played. So the mouth would move,
yeah.
the eyes would blink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Nice.
was,
He'd make a stabbing motion.
oh, it's funny you mentioned that. Funny or Die did a comedy video of a Teddy Ruxpin that was angry with his owner and like put a tape deck in this kid's body and hit play. And as it played, it was pulling the intestines around the reel to reel.
Nice. Now, Mike, you should know Longview, you should know Basket Case, and you should know When I Come Around. Those are the three
When I
big
Come Around,
hits.
Yeah, okay.
When I Come
Yeah.
Around.
Longview is that, isn't Longview the Do You Have the Time
Oh, okay,
to
okay,
listen
no,
to
that's
me
more
one?
famous. Okay. I bet I've heard those, yeah.
Yeah.
Thing all at once.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big album.
And it did, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, they were massed three-piece
Yes, pop punk bands.
They
yeah.
really did. It
Yeah.
kind of,
Launched that whole
kinda seems that
genre.
way to me,
Yeah. And called attention to bands like The Offspring and NoFX and
yeah.
some of the other ones. Kind of had some
yeah.
minor-ish
Yeah.
hits, Bad Religion, stuff like that.
I liked the Offspring. They had a lot of great songs. Like
I think they're still a thing.
they still are around, I think. But I really liked them. Their music was in a video game called Crazy Taxi. It was a fantastic game, and the whole idea of the game was you're trying to take people from point A to point B as fast as possible.
Do people shoot at you and try to crash into you?
No,
and
but
stuff, or-
I mean, they don't shoot at you, but you do like the people come out and like jump in front of you, and you have to
like Frogger, kind of.
you have to
Reverse Frogger.
You have to avoid other cars.
Reverse
and stuff.
Frogger.
But the crazier the ride is for the person, the more points you got.
I
Why
kinda
isn't there
remember
an Airbnb? Not Airbnb. Why isn't there like a Uber or what's the other one? Not
Lyft?
DoorDash, but Lyft.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a video game where you're like driving through, and I'm not picking on any city here, but like, I don't know, I'm not even going to mention a city. We're in a bad part of town,
Yeah.
and you're getting chased by drug dealers,
Tacoma.
and
You're talking about
hookers,
Tacoma, right? He's talking about Tacoma.
crackheads, and everything. Was trying to stop your car.
I'm kidding. He's talking
You
about
gotta, yeah,
Seattle.
avoid, yeah.
And you gotta avoid everybody. And if you get there in time, you get a bonus.
I mean, that
Yeah.
legitimately sounds very similar to Crazy Taxi.
That's what I'm saying. But throw in those like what's the game where you drive around and you do crimes?
Grand Theft Auto.
But put those two together,
Oh my God.
and it'd be like.
I mean,
Yeah.
and there is elements of that in GTA 5 where you as you're driving around, someone's like, "Hey, can you help me?" And you pull over, they go, "Hey, can you give me a ride to such and such?" You have to drive from one side of the map to the other, and you have to avoid being shot at, and, run off the road and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Jeez.
those do exist. They're just like minor missions on that game.
Nice.
I think GTA 6 is supposed to be coming out next year sometime.
I haven't played any of those.
Yeah.
Oh God, they're so much fun. I have a lot of fun on those games.
Nice. Boys, Kevin Smith, I think we talked about that this was
yeah.
going to
So
happen.
So the Weinsteins have released Dogma.
I think that
when
somebody got it off of the Weinsteins.
Right. That's what I mean is they're not releasing it as they're putting it out to be sold again, which is going to happen. That is going to happen, but no. Somebody else bought it away from the Weinsteins, and then they offered it to Kevin to take on tour. I don't think Kevin owns it, but he
Now has the rights to.
has access to it.
Yeah.
He doesn't own it, but he has access to it. So
Yeah.
they're going to release it. It sounds like they're going to re-release it in theaters, and they're going to put it on streaming, and they're going to probably also re-release it on Blu-ray and DVD and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him, man, because he has been fighting to get that movie back.
For like nearly 2 decades,
Yeah, since it came out, right?
Well, I mean, since right after Jay and Silent Bob came out in 2000, so
Yeah.
he's been wanting to do a sequel to that since then, and he was trying to do it before Alan Rickman died, and it just because the Weinsteins are a bunch of bitches, they wouldn't allow it. They said, no, we're not going to do that.
So dumb. Yeah, be careful with the contracts you sign, kids.
I guess so. Yeah.
No, but good for him, man, because he's got the
sure.
4:30 movie, which you can rent right
my
now.
God.
Or no, you can buy it on Amazon,
okay.
I think.
Okay.
And it is very good.
Oh, have you seen it?
Yes,
Okay.
I watched it a couple days ago.
Nice.
And it's almost a prequel to Clerks.
Nice.
It leads into it. And it's basically the lead character is Kevin as like a 16-year-old, and it's about him wanting to go on a date with this girl. This whole, I guess for
Crush on her.
Huge crush on her.
Yeah.
Wanted to go out there, and he couldn't do it. He was shy, and he finally gets to take her on a date, and all this other shit happens in the process. It's like, I wanted to take you to this movie, but I got kicked out. So yeah.
Did I see Jeff Anderson?
Yes, Jeff Anderson and
Plays like a kid's
and
father or something.
Brian O'Halloran is also in it.
Oh,
too.
he is? All right.
Yeah,
Nice.
and so is Jason Mewes. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody. I think most of the cast
And,
Clerks are in it.
Rosario Dawson.
Oh yes,
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, she's a treasure.
Yeah.
Rosario's in it. Yeah, she's actually one of the better characters in it too.
Isn't she still dating Cory Booker? Are they still an item?
I forgot
Which
all
is
about
just
that.
a weird
I don't know who
to me.
Yeah.
Senator from New Jersey, Democrat senator from New
I don't
Jersey.
know who that is.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a
really?
woman?
I always thought he might seek
I know.
higher office
Yeah.
just because he's kind of Obama-ish.
Rosario, I think, is in a relationship with a woman right now.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I could be wrong.
Marina Booker.
But no.
He went woke. That's what I heard.
I'm telling God. Boys, sad news, but I think he's going to be okay. Jake E. Lee, who's now
yeah.
67, Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist, I think Bark at the Moon.
Oh, yeah.
And what
And
was
numerous tours. I don't
Yeah.
know what the
was shot in Las Vegas.
Like a random thing.
Random. He was out walking his dog, letting his dog out at 2:30, and just randomly got shot. And he
That
was in
sucks.
critical condition, but they say he should be making a full recovery. Like he's responsive and he's in good spirits and
Well,
all
I
that
know
stuff.
it's early, but I certainly hope that he and like 50 Cent can make a record.
Yes.
Right? It's like-
yes.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it happened at 2:40, about 2:45 a.m. Which nothing good happens at 2:45.
Did you guys?
No, but you got it. Your dog wants
Your dog's
out.
gotta go out.
And I don't know. But Vegas has posters, bus stops that say if you use a gun in a crime, we're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Basically, they add like 25 years to everything.
The last tour I heard about with 50 Cent, he was going on tour with Nickelback, and they were going to call it 45 cents.
So bad. So bad, Todd. So bad. There's your dad joke of the week, folks. Speaking of Ozzy Osbourne, Alex Van Halen is coming out with a new memoir called Brothers, which I'm kind of excited to read. I'll wait a little while. But he tells, while he's being interviewed by Rolling Stone, Todd, you okay? Oh. While he was being interviewed by Rolling Stone, he revealed that a couple different times, after Van Halen 3 flopped with Gary Cherone, that they were discussing bringing in a new singer, and they had discussions with Ozzy Osbourne to be the new singer of Van Halen, and he was interested. So they were talking to Sharon, they were talking to Ozzy, and it sounded like it was going to move forward. They were going to do some rehearsals and stuff, and then Ozzy started doing the Osbournes on MTV.
Yeah, so that was the early 2000s.
Late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know when that show came out.
I don't know.
I
That'd be an odd
want to say
mix.
the Osbournes was on like mid to late 90s.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty early.
Yeah.
I can't remember when Van Halen 3 came out. Was that like 96, 97?
And who's that
Yeah.
guy?
Gary Cherone.
Yeah.
He was the extreme.
Extreme.
Oh, yeah.
More than words can.
Yeah. Him and the other guy from Extreme.
Yeah.
I liked Extreme. I thought his renditions of Van Halen was
Yeah, it wasn't a good
He's
album.
one of those LA guys that are just so super. They came in from fucking Delaware or some shit. They get LA'd, and it's like, you know exactly what I'm saying, people. Don't pretend you don't.
It's like when Roger Paul Rogers sang with Queen. Paul Rogers by himself, fan-fucking-tastic, absolutely great musician. Singing Freddie Mercury songs? No, stop it.
An odd choice.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It's a different range altogether.
It's a different range,
You know what I
and
mean?
it's just like, no, you can't sing these songs.
And Sharon's not a bad singer. I'm
yeah,
not a
no,
big Extreme fan.
I
but-
think he's one of those guys that can do about anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
his-
they had
And
him,
that's what I mean.
Sammy Hagar's
I can play
road trip, rock and roll road show, or whatever he does. He does that on AXL.
Yeah.
And he interviewed Gary Sharon,
Gary,
and it
yeah.
was a good episode. And they were jamming on the roof of his house or something
No,
afterwards.
He's legit. I'm not saying it. He's
But yeah, I just think that Gary Sharon is a different kind of rock star than the Red Rocker and Dave Lee Roth.
DLR. The other issue
Dave
too
the
is that there had been so much like David showed up, Roth showed up at the MTV Music Awards, and they made a big production that they were kind of getting back together, and then they did that best of album where they recorded a couple of new songs, and everybody was like, "Yes, David's back," and then all of a sudden it was like, "Nope, we're recording with Gary Sharon," and I think it just was like.
It was a bait and switch. People were pissed.
Yeah.
geez, I don't know.
Again, I like his stuff with Extreme. I haven't heard him do anything solo, but he's a great musician and he's a good singer. It just didn't fit with Van Halen.
Yeah.
And
here's another interesting one. So shortly before he died, Chris Cornell rehearsrsed with Eddie and Alex. He came in and he played bass and sang.
No, he did
and they
not.
jammed. This is according to Alex. Of course,
Alex ain't lying about
Osborne
There's no reason to lie
confirmed
about
that he was in talks with Van Halen before, but nobody can ask Cornell. But and he said,
he would.
Alex said that Cornell
Great.
was such a badass and gave it his all that after the rehearsal, his thumb was bleeding because he was slamming the bass so hard.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Slapping
legit.
the bass.
That's fantastic.
I knew you were going to do that.
Fantastic.
But I mean, how and so they.
I don't know. That's a cool mix there.
That's kinda- I mean, the range that Cornell has.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. But you look at Audio Slave. I mean, Kim Thayil's not a bad guitarist by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all.
But then he jumps to like Tom Morello
Oh yeah. That's
playing
right.
in Audio Slave
Yeah, I
and stuff.
forgot all about
And then he
that.
gets to go maybe play with Eddie Van Halen.
That's
Holy
pretty
shit.
cool.
I mean, talk
Yeah,
about.
Kim Thayil's a cool.
Yeah.
His talent is unique.
Yes.
He's a one-of-a-kind
Absolutely,
guitar
yeah.
player. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is kind of a what if, right?
Yeah, geez, that's neat though.
yeah.
And I mean, I think Alex Van Halen is exceptionally talented.
As a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why Alex never makes it to any kind of like greatest drummer of all time kind of stuff. He's never on any lists, right?
Oh, really?
I mean, he probably is, but he's maybe like ranked 102 or something, right? I always thought he was a decent drummer comparatively.
Yeah.
So.
And inventive, of course.
Yeah, and maybe it's just because he's got the double kick going, and that's kind of his shtick. But but you sit behind Eddie,
timings and
right?
stuff, and,
yeah,
I don't know. I think they worked well together. 'Cause,
Yeah.
how do you keep Eddie on task?
That's true.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't.
Yeah.
I really like Van Halen a lot.
Yeah.
So
I do too.
I can
I mean-
wax poetically.
I can too.
In
That's my go-to.
In 1984, Van Halen was everywhere in school. I mean, it was. If it wasn't being played on the school bus on the way to and from school, it was on the playground. Because I was in elementary school in '84, so
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't get away from Van Halen because they were on MTV more than I think anybody at that time.
Yeah, 84, yeah, big time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, growing up for us.
Thanks, Dave. That's Dave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like Dave was the first time. Derek, do we have time for this?
Yeah, no, we got plenty of time.
Because all the glam bands and all that stuff that led to California hair metal or
Yeah.
hair rock
Yeah.
or whatever, all the steps that went to there, the singer was always kind of the weak link. Right? Even with their own, charms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Dave was the first time when that super band had a
Super singer.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a
Incredible
just
showman.
larger
He was
than
an
life.
over the top
it's Dave.
showman.
Yeah.
And the thing is I liked Dave up until the point where he started like filleting his microphone and like humping the camera. And I was like, damn it.
It's Dave.
I'm like,
Dave.
I mean, the music was fantastic, the thing was great, but I didn't want to have my face fucked by his girl.
Yeah. I gotta say, man, probably 82 to 85. It was for my little clique of friends. It was AC/DC.
Yeah.
It was Van Halen, and it was Def Leppard.
Yeah,
I mean, those were the.
absolutely. Yeah.
5/3 was Judas Priest.
Yeah. Oh,
But that
and
is
Judas
the
Priest
same-
was there.
that
Iron
same
Maiden was
lineup.
big.
I honestly,
yeah.
I didn't get into Priest in Maiden until much later in life.
Yeah. And Sabbath.
Yeah,
Or Sabbath,
Sabbath the whole time. Yeah.
Honestly,
But
guys,
Sabbath for me is so well done and so impacting, I can't casually listen to
Yeah.
it. I can casually listen to AC/DC and still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Could be in the
Yeah,
background.
Sabbath is some shit, man.
Yeah.
But I listen to Sabbath and still do a lot, but Never Say Die. That's
Yeah.
my go-to.
That's a great album.
I saw a video.
Masterpiece.
I saw a video a couple weeks ago of a guy, a comedian. They were doing like a roast, and the guy goes, "Yeah, fucking AC/DC. Every song is the exact same fucking song."
Wow.
I mean, and I'm like, and the guy responds like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He's like, he looked like he was getting ready to punch the kid in the face.
They kind of have released the same album, but it's a great album, right?
I mean,
And I don't know. I think initially,
Yeah.
the Bon Scott years especially,
Yes.
where each album had its own character.
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't necessarily disagree with the statement, but I think
I
that's
know.
too simplified.
It was
I mean,
A, G, and E, or A, D, and
I mean,
E or
yeah,
something.
they legitimately play to a core audience of like 14 to like 21.
Sure.
That's who they're aiming at.
Yeah.
If you like it beyond that, that's on you.
I mean, but there's a lot of like Creedence Clearwater Revival's kind of the same thing. I mean, they had a few little ballad type-ish
Yeah,
songs, slow songs,
yeah.
but Creedence is all about that quick 2-minute,
Yeah.
down home,
Yeah.
get in, get out kind of song, right? I don't know.
And for me, I do typically like an album or something like, I'll just go over and over with it. So I had, and then back then I didn't have that much money for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I had money, my brother took my money.
The other thing with AC/DC, when you got an album, you didn't like it for one song. You liked the entire album.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
most of
they
the songs on the
yes.
album are
No,
good.
and I would say that the initial AC/DC records, there's no bad song.
There's not, yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like,
I mean,
and
they may
They're all
not-
rocking.
they're all rocking.
They may not be your top choice to listen to, but you're not going to skip them because they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really, all the way through. I'm really.
I mean, you know how
But Powerade is my go-to.
that's
It
a
really
great
is.
album.
Great album.
Oh fuck, it's amazing.
Isn't that the one that has Gone Shooting?
Yes. Which one of my favorite blues songs of all time.
You
It's
wanna-
a great song.
you wanna know
The
something
solo
that's really
is
cool?
Perfect.
That's the song that the Beavis and Butthead theme song is based on.
Oh, really?
It's a really good song.
That opening riff, if you listen to it, it's like that is the Beavis and Butthead like opening. I can't do it, but
Nice.
it's, and I heard it for the first time because I listened to a lot of AC/DC growing up, but I'd never listened beyond to like 2 songs off of that album because those are the songs I liked. And I was like, I don't really need to listen to anything else. As I
like
said,
Sin City or whatever.
yeah. But and then I listened and I was like, this song sounds really familiar. And then like within maybe a month of hearing that song for the first time from beginning to end, I saw in an interview with Mike Judge. He's like, yeah, we kind of wanted to have the song Gone Shooting as the theme song for Beavis and Butthead, but we couldn't get the rights to it. So we kind of made our own version of the song.
Man, I'm surprised they didn't give him the rights.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, I mean, when Beavis and Butthead was brand fucking new,
Oh, yeah.
nobody knew how big they
What
were.
is so what is the show about?
I mean, legitimately, the show's about the kind of kids who listen to AC/DC.
Yeah. No, the best parts were where they're making fun of the music videos.
Oh, man.
The riffing on the music video.
Yeah.
You think he's hot, don't you, Beavis? Shut up, butthead!
Somebody posted today a picture of one of the Poison albums where they're all fucking dolled up with the makeup and stuff, and he said, "I'm sort of embarrassed to admit that I jacked off to this for about 6 months." for about 6 months before I found out they were dudes. And then, and then I only jacked off to them for about 3 months.
I actually heard a guy say this one time. It's like, the dudes in Poison are hotter than the chicks in what was it?
Vixen.
Vixen, yeah.
Oh no, man.
And that's the thing, dude. 3 hours worth of makeup.
Yes.
It's a whole different human.
Yeah.
It's a whole different human.
Dude,
You can create the illusion.
What is the name of that band? They're like a parody band of like all the hair metal stuff.
Steel Dragon.
Steel Dragon.
Yeah.
You've seen
Yeah.
when they first came out, I was like, this has got to be a parody. And the songs were like funny, but they were like legit like LA rocker type music.
They're kind of a parody, but they're sort of serious, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Fine line there.
I think the only person who's not putting on a persona is the lead singer. Everybody else is like in like a wig and like makeup.
Oh, nice.
And the bass,
It's theater,
the bass
that's
player,
fine.
the bass player is always like in pictures.
Got the little puss face.
Oh, bass players.
The duck face.
Bass players, are they necessary? Velvet Leather.
Dude, the first song I heard of theirs was "Death to All Butt Metal," and at the end of the video, it had Sarah Silverman say, "Yes, death to all butt metal." It's like, no, not butt metal, butt metal. There's a comma there. It's like, that's what I said. Death to all butt metal.
You guys know the term butt rock, right?
Oh yeah.
I mentioned that to like the wife and a few other. I'm like, what do you say, butt rock? I've never heard that. I'm like,
rock?
that forever has been a thing.
It's either butt rock or hair metal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hand in hand, right?
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah.
Jeez. Sort of speaking about this, and I'll post the picture. I got to show this to you. So I was trying to make a meme for. I make a lot of memes for the show and stuff, and I typed in because I was doing like pick your favorite '80s underdog, right? So you got like Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid and stuff like that. And I typed in 80s underdog, and this picture popped up, and I didn't put anything else in there.
What am I looking at?
This picture popped up, and it's on
I mean, that could have been any of us, I think.
2021 article about what 80s teenage boys look like. So this picture is my brother.
Oh, there you go.
This is my brother
is that
from
really your brother?
1985.
Yeah, sure it is.
There was the Pacific Northwest
would've been,
magazine, I think was associated with the Seattle Times. They did an article on teenage bedrooms in Seattle.
Jeez.
And my sister and him both got their picture took in their bedroom. And that was my brother's. And there was a bunch of other kids in the
that's
neighborhood that
great.
we all knew. But this fucking popped up. Wasn't asking for it, wasn't doing, and it just popped up in a Google search, and I was like, I know that picture, and I'm like, holy fuck,
That's totally
and
cool.
I totally remember. I was 13 at the time,
How do
and
you
I was
get
like,
paid?
what about my room? And they're like, no, you're a little too young. We're looking for something
What
a
did
little
Kathy
older.
have?
Kathy was in her
she a
room. In her
back paper?
room, I don't remember if at one point she bought a bunch of like fashion magazines and like pulled the pages of all these different models and different clothes and stuff, and she had those pasted all over her room. You can see my brother's got Iron Maiden and freaking Laser Metal, Judas Priest, a
fantastic.
bunch of stuff. So but
and the Mob Rules T-shirt.
the Mob Rules T-shirt,
good
all
stuff,
that
man.
stuff. So
That photo
Your
reminds
bro
me
is
of.
a cool dude.
he's all right.
There was a dude in my school who was total rocker guy, and he would wear like the jean jacket with all the patches and stuff, and he had that's what his room looked like.
Yeah.
And which the
And
G
he
Jack
also,
thing, that's
he
still
also
a thing.
had
Yes.
He also had like 2 or 3 guitars, and they were either on like one of those floor stands or had it hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
In between all the
Only
posters.
4?
Yeah. What's wrong with him? No, I mean that was our shtick, right? So I probably at that point I was wearing a lot of Ozzy Osbourne shirts, Blizzard of Oz and stuff like that, with my flannel over it.
Yeah.
So open in our Chucks and our Levi's. But I'll post this picture right
Ding.
there, and you guys can check it out. That's my brother, circa 1985.
I also posted a couple links for the songs that I've been talking about. Like
nice.
Death to All But Metal is on the Facebook page. Check it out. Still a funny video.
Nice.
And you've listened to the other music too, haven't you? There's one called I think it's called Community Property.
I've heard their songs, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what songs I've heard.
There's one he's basically talking about like dating big girls, and there's Darcy Blows.
Jeez. Oh my goodness! Is that like fat bottom girls make the world go round? We were talking about that before.
Kind of, yeah. Except for he's actually talking about women.
Nice. Boys, a couple of celebrity deaths this past week. Rest in peace, Lily Ledbetter. I don't know if you remember her. The court case.
For equal pay, for equal,
Yeah, so Lily Ledbetter was a Goodyear tire executive for years. And as she was sort of coming into retirement, she was tipped off that the men who did the exact same job with her in the company were making like 40% more money than she was.
Like the whole
time that she'd been there. She'd been there like 20, 30 years, some crazy number. So she goes and files suit against the company for pay discrimination, and she wins in the lower court. Well, Goodyear, appeals, takes it all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says, no, you can't do it. You had to have done it within 180 days of when it happened. And so she was SOL on getting, and I think she was asking for like $3 million in back pay, something like that. So one of the very first, and it may have been the very first law that Obama signed into law when he was president, was the Lily Ledbetter Equal Pay Act.
Nice.
So,
which was when again?
2012, I guess it would have been, right?
Yes.
Jesus. No, 2008. No. Yes, 2008.
Yeah, because that's when he became president.
Yeah, 2008.
But still, it took until the 21st century AD.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yeah. It's
to
crazy.
Have equal pay for equal work.
Yeah, and she sued over the 1962-1963 Equal Pay Act, but because she was out of time, supposedly, on the Supreme Court, this allows you to go back and
that
sue
just
them.
seems like a way for the Supreme Court to just not be
kick the
responsible.
can. Yeah.
That's kind of shitty behavior.
Yeah, so she was 86. I'm not sure what ailment other than just being 86. So, and then...
what's Leadbelly's name? Isn't his name Ledbetter? Leadbelly, the blues artist?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if they're related.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And then just, I think today or yesterday, former One Direction, and I'm not super, I know I've heard of One Direction.
They are a boy band out of England.
And Harry Styles was the big name that came out of that, right?
He's one of them, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Liam, I guess, was the other one that was massive. All the girls loved him.
He died in Argentina.
Oh, geez.
Police were called because there was an aggressive man who may have been under the effects of drugs and alcohol, quote from them. And when the cops showed up, he was dead in the courtyard. And now it's coming out that it sounds like he may have fallen from the balcony into the courtyard. So,
man.
Only 31 years old. Had recently come out.
He was described as a person on drugs? Aggressive person on drugs?
Aggressive person on drugs. So the police came to the hotel, but once they got there, they saw him in the courtyard.
Jeez,
So wait, the person on drugs was Liam?
Was him, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But maybe he did fall in and got a head injury too.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could look like you were buzzed if you bonked your head from falling from a
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Geez, beats me.
Yeah, I'm sure more information will come out about it, but so I think he came out with his first solo album like 2019 or something, and he'd co-written a whole bunch of songs with other artists and produced and stuff. But I'm not
black metal album.
So One Direction was after my son and before my daughter, so it doesn't fall in my purview.
And she likes lady singers more than she likes boy band.
The kid?
Yeah.
Hers is Ariana Grande and Olivia Rodrigo, who I'm starting to appreciate even more. I think Olivia Rodrigo's got some great songs, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they're both actors as well, aren't they?
I don't know, is Olivia Rodrigo an actor?
I thought so.
Ariana certainly is.
Yeah.
She's coming out Wicked,
Yeah?
which I think we
very
got
good.
tickets for opening night, because we're not going to not be able to. She'll kill us in our sleep if we don't take her to opening night.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Oh, I saw a
Wait,
video.
she's in the film or on?
She's in the film.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Because I think it's coming to the Paramount again.
Oh, yeah, and we talked about getting tickets to that, too. Yeah.
I saw a video yesterday of someone saying, I do realize this movie is based on a musical that people really love, but do not, I repeat, do not sing along to your favorite songs, because people are there to watch a movie.
Oh, at the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that would drive me nuts.
Sure.
This isn't Rocky Horror Picture Show, guys.
Yeah.
This hasn't been out for 50 years.
Yeah, wait, yeah, you got to give it a minute.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
don't do it on opening weekend is what they were saying, but it's like, in general, don't do it, because it's not, you're not at a theater watching a musical, you're in a movie theater watching a movie.
Right.
Yeah, you can't sing along in the fucking
No.
theater, right? It's like, if you go to, or I guess, but depending on.
I'm gonna throw popcorn at someone who does that if I go see it.
Yeah.
Fuck off, dude.
Don't do it. Boys, sharing is caring. Any new shows? Todd, I know you talked about something.
I was thinking, like, hey, because like Halloween's like what, a week away from this recording.
Yeah, roughly a week and a few days.
So there's a couple of Instagrammers. They're also on TikTok too. If you're on either one, you can look up these guys. One of them does how-to videos on how to make your own Halloween decorations, and the other guy is like a professional prop builder for the movie business, and he shows how to do some really cool stuff that you could be used for Halloween. So one dude is Brandon Hardy. So if you search for Brandon Hardy on TikTok or Instagram, or brandon.hardy.art is his username on both, and he's the one who does all the really cool props and decorations. He's the one who showed Chris how to make that kind of like chicken wire ghost thing I talked about earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
And this other guy, Scott Prop and Roll is his username.
That's funny.
Nice.
And and every video he has at least one or two really bad puns, and they're fantastic. But he's done videos where he shows you how to make reusable breakaway like glass. Breakaway glass bottles. So he goes, you can buy these breakaway bottles off of Amazon, and then you can like get some magnets and glue them in there, and then you can, and then put them back together so they look like they're already together, and you just smack someone over it and it falls apart because of the magnets. But yeah, he does all kinds of cool stuff, and he also does like behind the scenes. So this is how they did this. The one I saw recently that I was like, that's kind of cool. I kind of want to do that. He recreates, I guess there's a movie where a woman just goes crazy and starts drinking paint out of a bucket, and he goes, I tried to reach out to the guy who worked on that movie and how he did it, so I'm gonna try to recreate it in just how I thought it was done. So he recreates the paint using I think it was like Greek yogurt and some food color.
Yeah, no, that's a really good choice.
And then I guess
so
in the
gross.
fall, yeah, no, seriously, she's like gulping it down and like pouring down her face. And Scott Prop and Roll, fantastic content on Instagram and TikTok. Definitely follow both of these guys. But the Brandon Hardy, I initially found him because about 2 years ago, he had built a replica of Disneyland in his basement, like a scale replica of the entire park. And he would was doing like live streams on TikTok of the fireworks show that Disney does. He had video of the fireworks, and he was projecting it on his little miniature.
Man.
It was
like
really
a
cool.
train set kind of size?
I mean, yeah, it was a miniature size. I mean, all the people were standing in there like this big, like maybe an inch tall.
That's dedication, right?
Yeah, and
That is dedication.
He stopped doing those. I guess I don't know what happened. I haven't been able to see those videos in a long time, but now he does like all these how to make Halloween decorations and props and things, and really cool.
Nice. Nice. Mikey, what about you? Any new...
Well, last weekend I went up to Daryl's, which is up in Shoreline. They've been
Yeah.
show
Good
was
place,
there for a long time. Yeah, it's great. And saw Renton High School graduate Todd Ohashi in Coffin Break.
Nice.
Okay.
So
I
that
don't
was
know what
nice.
that is, but sounds cool.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Yeah, Coffin Break was a thing for...
Yeah. They had a
I
couple
mean, they
of
were
good
in the
songs
80s,
back.
dude, all the way
Yeah,
through, right?
Yeah, at least, through the 90s. No problem.
Yeah. I think I bought a Coffin Break album from the used record store that was here.
Oh, nice.
Was it Golden Oldies
Golden Oldies,
right here?
yeah.
I think I bought a Coffin Break album from them.
Nice.
God, it must have been...
Yeah, so that's it. They did a great job.
Yeah.
And then, on the way back, went to Beth's.
Oh, nice.
Reopened. So.
Yeah. You get the
that was
12 acre?
nice. No. But I got steak and eggs. That was good.
Nice.
I recently
And
saw...
cinnamon roll a la mode.
I saw a post from Best Cafe says, yeah, no, you will not win a free T-shirt if you eat the 12-egg omelet, but you'll get a good meal.
Yeah. And
You'll be
and
full.
you get your name up on the wall. So.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. You get And they do have new. They've got a number of T-shirt designs, but the new one's a Henry. Henry, the local Seattle artist. The dude's doing it.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I'm pretty sure that the guy who owns Tim's and Daryl's has Beth's.
Oh, really? Okay.
100% on
I
that.
think it got new owners there,
Relatively recently, yeah.
within right after the pandemic, because the place was closed. It was at that point it was closed indefinitely, but it sounds like they got new owners, and that's when they reopened.
Yeah. And I think there's 7 days a week, but not 24 hours, 7 days a week.
And I heard that Burger Master has a food truck out in front of Triple X Burger in Issaquah now.
Oh, they got their own food truck?
That's pretty smart.
Nice, yeah.
I mean, they're renovating the building to make it a Burger Master. So
Oh, okay. So I didn't realize they had bought the building.
yeah,
I didn't realize they were doing that well. Burger Master.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad they're keeping that location open. I hope they.
Does that imply the existence of a burger submissive?
One can hope.
Burger sub. It would.
It's grimace, isn't it?
It's the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar is the sub to the Burger Master, and his safe word is robble robble.
Oh my God. Well, how do you know? I mean, he might be rubble because he rubble. Maybe it's how he says it.
Maybe
it's all in the diction.
Diction, yeah.
Groot.
But I really hope they keep the barrel on top.
Yes, the
triple
sign.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I hope they don't remove the 3 X's. I hope they keep that all intact, and they just put their
Burger Master.
underneath it.
Around it, yeah. Because we used to hit the Burger Master up on Aurora.
Yeah, no, I just rolled
Yeah,
by.
that one.
Yeah.
Dude, I that's the one I used to go to because I lived out on Fifth Avenue over on the other side of the freeway.
There's one on. It used to be right near the University Village.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's there anymore. It may be.
You talking about the full restaurant one?
Right off of 45th.
U Village?
Yeah, is that still
think it's-
there?
I don't know. I haven't been out that way in a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the only Burger Master that had an indoor seating space.
Everything else was drive up.
Yeah.
Yeah. My buddy Matt, who recently passed away, him and Gil, who was you played music with Gil. They had an apartment right kind of around the corner from the Burger Master on Aurora. It was like just a tick and then down just a bit, so you could throw a rock and
95th
hit
or
it.
something?
So-
Yeah, 95th, something like that.
So I would go and hang out on Aurora with my friends who would go to shut up. Who would go to
A lot of walking.
back then I didn't have a car, so yeah, it was God damn it, what's the name of it? There's an AA hall right up there, right next to the I'm trying to remember the name of the place. Either way, we'd hang out at the AA hall, and right next door was a little coffee shop. We'd hang out there too. Then sometimes, we all have money, we're hungry, so let's walk over to Burger Master and get something to eat. So we'd go over there. That was the first time I ever realized that you could get an eggnog milkshake. They call it Tom and Jerry, and it was like, oh my God, I love eggnog. So yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Boys, I watched a couple of the movies that we talked about at the first episode of the month when we go through the movies. I watched that Sarah Paulson movie. It was kind of a horror movie. It's called Don't Breathe, and I think it's on Max. No, it's on Hulu.
All right.
Okay, not super duper. It's in the midst of the Dust Bowl, and she's trying to protect.
Is there a depiction of that? Cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. In fact, there's one scene, not giving too much away, where they find a boy on the side of the road that's all covered, and they start digging him out, and they find the mom buried, but she's got a jacket over her, and they lift her out, not knowing she's alive, and then all of a sudden, and then just blows the dust out. It's just, so they got caught in a storm. But it's mostly about the Sarah Paulson character, the mom character, is having a mental break, and she has had it in the past, and it's kind of come back, and you don't know what the reality is.
Bummer.
So there's an interesting, but under the auspices of the Dust Bowl and that horrible.
So did either of you finally get to see Beetlejuice?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
It's out on digital now, so
You have to check it out.
That's a good Halloween-y thing.
Yeah, for rent or to buy.
I mean, I would buy it. I actually enjoyed it. I saw it in theaters, and I've watched it a couple times since then on a computer.
No, we just bought Deadpool Wolverine because the wife never saw it.
Oh my God.
And we got about halfway through, and then she was like, nodding off, and I'm like, let's stop because you're going to miss too much, and we'll watch it another night. So we got to finish it, but it's so good.
Oh my God.
The other one is on Max. If you guys want to check this out, Mike, I think you would enjoy this. Caddo Lake. Caddo Lake. Right. And it's it's kind of a marshy lake that all these people live around. But it's funky. There's some interdimensional time travel kind of stuff. That old chestnut. So big twist ending at the end and stuff. So you might enjoy it. It's kind of Caddo Lake. Caddo Lake. It's on Max.
All right.
Yeah, and it'll probably be in like the top of the weekly movies in the top 10. But yeah, I enjoyed it over different time periods, and you're trying to figure out how all these characters relate. And then because we were talking about the what was the movie we were talking about with the rope around the moon?
The Endless.
The Endless. Yeah. Kind of a funky feeling like that.
Because it's got time elements.
It's got time elements, and you're not sure how everybody fits together, and it's pretty well done. It's not a fantastic movie, but it's well done, and the idea is interesting. So,
all right.
So check that out.
Caddo Lake.
Caddo Lake. Boys, ending on something positive with no Todd. No, there's Todd. Ending on something positive. A couple of Halloween quotes for you. This one is from Cassandra Peterson, who everybody knows as.
And that's Elvira.
Elvira.
Next week.
Yeah, she said, if ever there was a holiday that deserves to be commercialized, it's Halloween. We haven't taken it away from kids. We've just expanded it so that the kid in adults can enjoy it too.
Yes.
So, yes. And then writer Steve Almond said, nothing on earth is so beautiful as the final haul on Halloween night.
Nice.
Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We had the pillowcases, man, the big-ass haul.
Oh, the haul.
Candy. Man,
I thought you meant the final haul, like walking down a hallway.
Oh, no, the haul, though.
Oh, yeah.
That you get, man. We would some years have to come back, empty the bag, and then go back out.
Yeah. I actually,
Apex America.
About 16 years ago, I was hanging out with my friends, George and Nairi, and their Nairi's son, who I think was like 8 or 9 at the time, was going to go trick-or-treating. He goes, I want to go trick-or-treating, and both Nairi and George were like, yeah, I'm tired, and it's getting late. And it's like, I'll take it out if you guys don't want to do it. And so I was like, all right, cool, let's go. And he's like, he has this little plastic bucket. He's like, no, drop the bucket, go grab your pillowcase.
Yeah.
He goes, why the pillowcase? He's like, you'll understand, let's go. So he grabs his pillowcase, and George and I were both kind of chuckling because they knew. I was like, yeah, if you use a pillowcase, it'll hold a lot more.
Hell yeah.
Hold a hell of a lot more. and he came back. The thing was half full of stuff, and it was like mostly big candy bars too.
Nice.
And I was like, see, now if you would have had your little bucket, you wouldn't have been able to carry all that.
Yeah, we had 2 houses in the neighborhood that gave out full-size candy bars. And we tried to go back as many times as we could in a single night just to get those full.
And I recently heard a quote saying, hey, if someone is still wanting to trick-or-treat in their teens, let them. 'Cause
Yes.
there's much worse things they could be doing in their teens during Halloween. And I can contest to this. Yeah, we started like egging houses when we were told we couldn't trick-or-treat anymore.
You're giving up one little piece of candy or a couple little pieces of candy?
To a teenager?
That's the bad part?
Yeah, as opposed to,
I want them to come into my maze so I can freak the fuck out of them. Scare the shit out of me.
I'll tell you remote.
And the other thing I saw recently, which like absolutely yes, is like don't tell kids, don't have parents of autistic kids or neurodivergent kids use the blue bags or baskets or whatever to identify them as nonverbal or whatever. Hand out candy to everybody who shows up at your door.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick just because they're not saying trick or treat.
Yes.
So
I don't get it. They're kids, man. Let them have some fun.
even if they're teenagers, let them have fun.
Yes, they're only kids for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's
Don't take that away from them. Because I was trick or treating all the way up till I think 15, and that's when they were like, "No, you're too old for this." I was like, I spent the time to get dressed up. I want some fucking candy, so I came back with some eggs.
Damn, Don. Hardcore.
That was my house. How dare you?
Yeah.
Folks, thank you for being with us. If you are a member and have joined the members only either on the website or on Patreon, we are doing our top 5 movie monsters of all time.
Yeah.
So come back and check that out. If you're not a member, why aren't you? It's only $3 a month. Come on. So go join to be a member. But if you don't want to, that's cool. We still love you, and we'll come back and we'll see you next week. It's not just a smidge less.
A little bit less.
But come back next week, and we'll see you then. Other than that, anything else, boys?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Be excellent to each other.
There you go. Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, blogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.